Live.
Peace to the family. I'm here with my lovely daughter. Take a look at her, how fly she is. Look how fly she is. She's so fly. You got a good look at her. She's so pretty.
You gotta go in the sun.
She's so pretty and she's so fly. You gotta find this. Think this will work. Can you see it better? Ta-da! She says what I say to that. She messes up all these little things. She's brilliant at all the other stuff, but the little stuff like tada, she'll say wada. When she was young, she used to say out instead of ouch. And that just goes to show you that pain is just a concept, and the way we respond to it is more psychological than anything else. Because she went on for almost a whole year. Every time she got hurt, there's like a 10-second delay, out. She was doing her best to be like everyone else. And we're like, if you're going to be like everybody else, responding to pain because you just want to be down, because you're weird and abnormal, so you don't identify with pain like most human beings because the way you was raised, not eating food for the first 4 years, just breast milk, then you're going to have to learn how to pretend like you're human like everybody else and say ouch, not out. So after we got that out of there, now we are on to die. Or what? To do what you said? Voila.
You didn't say voila. You said wada.
You said wada. Combination of tada and voila. But anyway, we're gonna see if I got the chairs. Yeah. We gotta get some. It's been a farmer's market, but I want to talk to you and give you some holistic health advice on depression, you know, anxiety, stress, as well as fibroids, bone density. These are issues that actually are all related to each other, be you male or female. Of course, men are not really getting fibroids. And I said not really because men have their version of fibroids. You got to understand the man and the woman's body are very similar. Even our body parts are very similar. Some parts fused, some parts are rudimentary, meaning that we don't really use them, but they're there nonetheless. That's a whole nother conversation, but understand this. A lot of these things are linked with each other. So we can put the male and the female on relatively a similar regimen as far as food consumption or nutrients and minerals are concerned, and it will yield very good results for us. So we're in a farmer's market, and I figured, hey, you know what? I haven't been going live in quite some time. This is part of my baby's homeschooling. So we're just gonna go around to this farmer's market, which she loves. She's always running out the house to come to the farmer's market every time. They out here with the fresh kale and everything. She can't wait to be out here. So I'm like, we're gonna do health. We're gonna do holistic health as part of our curriculum, which we've been doing. And today I'm just gonna walk her through some processes because she's a young lady. And what a lot of people don't realize as young women and women in general is that since you have a cycle, which she's on now at a very young age, this girl is only 11 years old and she damn near was on it at 10 if I'm correct. So I mean 10 years old is pretty young age to start being on a cycle or menstruating. So what happens is blood is being discharged every month, but in that blood there's certain elements that's constantly being discharged. We never really consider compensation, meaning that what you lose you have to replace. So today I'm going to walk around and I'm going to communicate certain ideas to my daughter about certain foods that she should take in or certain drinks she should take in for her personal benefit. And then you also have to get the Rimetrium tested. Why? Because some people, some women give off higher amounts of chrome than other women, higher amounts of iron than other women. Some women have a heavier discharge, and that's also because of their diet though. And some women take a longer period of time on their cycle than others. And that's also because of diet. Yeah, you can link it to genetics, but a lot of things that's passed down genetic-wise is not considered. What we say is passed down from one generation to the next is not what we really should be focusing on. We just say the disease is passed down. But what we got to realize is behavior is passed down. Behavior gets passed down from one generation to the next. So it can be... It can be environment that's passed down from one generation to the next. food that's passed down from one generation to the next, stress that's passed down from one generation to the next. These are things that you have to consider. So for instance, some women, when they go on a cycle, they get rid of a lot of chrome, a lot more than other women, and they don't replace the chrome. So what that causes is a breakdown in the pancreas, which helps produce insulin. So if you don't replace the chrome, one of the number one offsets to chrome deficiency is pancreatic issues. And therefore you'll find a lot of women have diabetes because they're not duly compensating the right way when their cycle comes, because they're releasing so much chrome per cycle without compensating for the chrome that they're relieving or releasing, that they wind up with pancreatic issues. Therefore they have problems producing insulin. So the key to that is to say, well, you know what, if you know you get rid of a lot of chrome on your cycle, you need to replace it. So now you got to find out, where do I go to get my source of chrome? And in that same manner, in talking to my baby girl, obviously people replace, or sisters lose a lot of iron traditionally and calcium traditionally. And this is why there's poor bone density. And that's why so many women suffer from osteoporosis, because their bones get brittle, because on account of their cycle, they're not replacing the optimal amount of calcium. And so they get told, we need to go get milk. But what they don't tell you is that your milk is not good just because it has calcium. Too much calcium corrodes the bones, it destroys the bones. So they'll tell you milk does the body good. What kind of milk? Walnut milk will do the body good. So my wife is going to do a tutorial, hopefully today or tomorrow, on how to make your own milk. So it's made up of exactly what you need. However, what we will do is just show you what you can buy to help compensate for the calcium that's being lost. And what you got to understand is milk is not just good because it has calcium. You have to make sure that there's a 1-to-1 ratio. You have to make sure there's a 1-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium. If the fair amount of calcium is not equated with a fair amount of magnesium, then you're going to wind up with too much calcium, and that's going to take away from your bone density. It's going to make your bones soft. It's going to make it brittle. It's going to make you more susceptible to injury or to pain. So we have to make sure that you're not just getting the calcium that they say you need from milk. We have to make sure that that milk is equally high in magnesium. So you have to have a 1-to-1 ratio idealistically. 1 calcium to 1 magnesium. That's what's going to help maintain the integrity of your bones, to keep them nice and solid. But if you only are taking in calcium, it's going to take away from your bone density, the durability, the strength of your bones. And what happens is once you lose your bone density, you start losing your hearing. And that's called bone density loss of hearing on account of osteoporosis. So the first thing that goes after a person bone density loses out, they lose their hearing, because contrary to what many people would tell you, the reason why you can hear is because of your bones, because the vibration has to shake the bones, and then the bones shake, and then they send messages to the inner ear where you have ossicles. Ossicles in your ear is called the incus, malleus, and the stapes. So you have 3 parts of your ear. You have the outer ear, the middle ear, and you have the inner ear. And within the confines of the inner ear, you have what's called a liquid called cochlea. This is a liquid, and you have hairs that's suspended in the liquid. So what happens is vibration from words and tones hit the bones that's in your ear called ossicles, which are the incus, malleus, and stapes. These bones shake, and when those bones shake, it causes the liquid in your ear called cochlea to move. And when the liquid in your ear called cochlea moves because of the shaking of the bones called the ossicles, that causes the hairs, which are antennas, to move in certain ways that sends messages to your brain for interpretation. So it's a lot that takes place, but you need your bones for an impact of vibrations for you to interpret what's taking place, because your body is mostly liquid. So in order for you to get an interpretation, it's a form of echolation like dolphins, because we're very close to dolphins. We're actually more closer to dolphins than we are many of the other creatures on planet Earth. The dolphin, in fact, if you look at whales, right? Whales used to have hips, but they used to walk. You know that? I'm so serious. Whales had hips. And you can still see it in their structure to this day. Whales have hips. Okay? Childbearing hips. Facts. Whales have hips. They used to walk. You're going to find out that a lot of creatures on this planet are a part of a bigger scheme of things. It's the same template used to create an organism used for just about every other organism. It's all about templates. Whatever's being used to create a human, that same concept or construct, you can graft out of our DNA and find birds. You can graft out of these birds and find reptilians, because these reptilians turned into birds. You're going to see that. We got to do a class on that so we can see how all of us have something relatively in common. And that's why when Daddy talks about man, I'm speaking about everything combined, because I feel everything combined makes up man. And therefore there's a relationship amongst every other creature and us. Every creature is doing something that supports us because we're part of every creature, relatively. So what happens is, like the bees account for 10% of our oxygen through their pollination. If we don't have bees, we lose 10% of our oxygen. That ants burrow through the ground to create enough air or ventilation so plants can grow that we need to eat food, or the plants that we need to breathe in that which they respire. Okay, jellyfish, they don't have a brain, but they still alive, right? And jellyfish consume a lot of harmful microorganisms in the water, that if they didn't consume those harmful microorganisms, it didn't be too dangerous for us to use water for bathing purposes or for eating things that's in the water, whether it be seaweed or fish for people that eat fish. So the jellyfish plays a role in helping us. You feel me? And then the birds, they see through electromagneticity. So that means that there's water, there's mountains, and there's different landscapes. They don't see the way we see. They see through the electromagnetic vibrations that exist in the air based on the grooves that's created from different land masses. And so that's how they know how to navigate or go to and fro when they have to. But birds are traveling and they help the germination process. They'll carry germs from one place to the next and put it into the earth. And this empowers us as human beings again. So what you're going to find out is all these different species have something to do, or they conspire towards our progression. And that's why we shouldn't just kill any animal senselessly and recklessly, because they're part of a system called ecology. Okay? That means when you take something out of that system, there's a domino effect. That means several other things are going to be impacted. When human beings came out of the system, because we use toilets and everything now, right? And I'm not telling you it's a bad thing, but when we came out of the system, we used to urinate in the ground, we used to defecate in the ground. Why was that important? Well, when we used the bathroom outside into the ground, nature was able to make an assessment of what kind of sicknesses or germs or diseases we were susceptible to. And then nature would create a special formula in our food that corresponds with our environment to ensure that we wouldn't get sick later on. So what happened is this: our banana and our habitat would be different from other black people's banana and their habitat, because our banana will cater to our specific interests and needs. Our apples will cater to our specific interests and needs. So this is why when you go around the world, you have different apples, different bananas, and all sorts of other fruit that looks different based on that area, because nature is taking into consideration our DNA from our saliva that we spit on the ground, from the skin that we shed that's in the atmosphere, from the urine that hits the ground, from the excrement that hits the ground, and then guess what? It makes sure whatever it creates for us is also conducive for the rest of the animals and the plants that exist in that ecology or ecological system. So our urine and our defecation may be used to produce plants that animals in our system will have to consume. And therefore those plants wouldn't see us, or those animals won't see us as enemies, because there'd be something psychologically embedded into those animals that they need us just as much as we need them in the system, because it's some part of us that's contributing to their food as well. It's deep. You feel what I'm saying? But when human beings separate themselves from a system or take other animals out the system, there's a domino effect. Then animals start going crazy, they go wild, or they even go against you for corrupting the system, because now you're making life difficult for them. And now the plants have to work against you when you come back in, because now they'll learn how to accommodate without you being there. So now when you come back into the habitat, now you're itching. Now you have responses to pollen. Now you have allergies all of a sudden, because now that system That system has learned how to thrive without you. So when you come back into the system, now you start itching, now you start sneezing, now you start coughing, because that system doesn't want you back in there no more. We've learned how to exist without you. See how that works? But if you stay in the system long enough, nature will make concessions and accommodations for you and start producing foods that can keep you healthy in that system. And then it'll create food that keeps you healthy and create food as an end result of you being there for the other animals there, so there can be a psychological connection amongst you and them where you won't be in conflict with them or go to war. Deep. Right or wrong?
Yes.
You got any questions? So dolphins have hips. Whales have hips. You ain't let that go.
No.
We're going to go online and I'm going to show you how that process works. That's studying the anatomy. And what I'm telling you, it's called anatomy. When you study the body type of different organisms, you're going to realize we got so much things related. All the species on this planet are related because they come out of the same template. It's a Fibonacci sequence. It's a golden mean ratio. Remember the geometric shapes and everything that we were studying and following? You're going to see that the amount of petals on a dandelion going left and or going right, it's going to follow the Fibonacci sequence when we count the amount of petals. It's going to go back to that golden mean ratio that we was talking about. Everything in the system follows that. You feel what I'm saying? Nature is very deep and intricate. We can find out how old the tree is if we cut the bark and we see how much rings is around it. Because every year there's a new ring that comes around that tree on the bark. See, nature's always going to leave signs and symbols. If we get sick, if I have pancreatic issues, we can look on the cheeks of a person, and if their cheeks are real dark, darker than the rest of their face, we know that that person is diabetically inclined. If we see too much dots on the bottom of a person's foot, we know that that's a prone deficiency. That may not necessarily mean pancreatic issues, but they are going to have problems producing insulin in time. If we see webs at the arc of a person's foot, a woman particularly, then we know that she didn't breastfeed long enough, and she has back pains, and it's also going to lead to a form of psychosis. If we see that the tongue is too white, or we see that there's a crack, a line that's a crack going down the tongue, then we know this person has liver problems as well. See, the human body is always going to show us signs. Nature always gave us a way to tell what's wrong without us having to actually go to the doctor. Nature always did that for us. You feel me? So the game is to make sure you're not in tune with nature. Because if you're not in tune with nature, then you have to rely on doctors. If you're in tune with nature, you won't have to rely on people who know nothing about you for years to tell you about yourself. When you're in tune with nature, you've been around you for years, and you can see the changes. And when you're in tune with nature and you realize, man, you know what? I'm craving too much crunchy foods. Then that would mean that you're nervous. Like when some people get nervous, they bite their fingernails. So a symptom of nervousness is eating too much crunchy foods. And crunchy foods are normally associated with oil. And that oil saturation normally corresponds with salt. Because that which is dipped in oil for fried food normally has to be accompanied by salt for it to be befitting for taste. So that being the case, we understand where wound cancer can come from, or prostate cancer can come from eating too much fried foods. But the craving is established from something that's going wrong emotionally with you. So before you can get sick, you have to emotionally be distraught. You have to be stressed out. And when you get stressed out, there's a food that corresponds with your stress, which creates an appetite. And if you don't solve that problem emotionally, you're going to eat yourself into a disease. So this is why we say emotions first. Emotions precipitate appetite, and appetite transmutes into disease. People just don't get diseases. People have emotional problems and they eat their way through them. So whether you're craving salty food or sweet food, crunchy food, these are all symptoms of that which is plaguing us emotionally. You just don't eat what you like because you like to eat. You have a craving for what you're eating because that's the way you feel. Now we got to find out what feelings correspond with that which you eat. That's what we got to find out. Make sure you don't cover the bottom of the mic. But we have to find out what emotions correspond with the foods that we eat. And then when you see yourself suddenly, I got a sweet tooth is what we say. Ain't no tooth sweet. No such thing as a sweet tooth, right? Your teeth are not sweet. You can suck the tooth that just fell out your mouth the other day and see how sweet that is. Ain't no such thing as a sweet tooth. But what I will tell you is, you keep eating sugar, and that sugar is going to turn into acid, and it's going to go down into your bloodstream and go straight to your heart. And that's why heart disease is associated with bad dentistry, or a person who's not taking good care of their mouth. You're going to wind up with heart disease. They're linked to each other. See? So someone that have heart disease and be like, man, how come this is happening? Because they feel like they're being neglected. They feel like they miss their mother, or they miss their father, or their boyfriend or their girlfriend broke up with them. And so that sense of emotion corresponds with sugar. And that emotional context to which a person feels neglected, or a person feels like they're not being loved enough, causes them to beseech that which is sweet to eat or consume. And in that can turn into heart disease. And a whole while you're like, man, how I get heart disease? You got heart disease not because simply you was eating sugar. You got heart disease because you're having love issues. You're having neglect issues. And thus you crave something that was sweet. And in craving something that was sweet and not having those emotions be resolved, they've gone unresolved for so long that you've overindulged in that which is sweet, and in turn you made yourself a diabetic, or you wind up with heart disease. So we don't just get diseases. Remember, dis means not or no, right? So ease. So dis-ease means you're not easy, you're not comfortable. So anything that makes you feel uncomfortable corresponds with something that you feel like eating. So all of a sudden you just feel like eating different types of foods, you gotta watch yourself and say, dang, what's bringing this about? All of a sudden I just want a bunch of fried foods. I want fried plantain, I want fried chicken, I want fried this, I want fried that. Then you have to say, man, maybe you're nervous you're gonna lose your house. Maybe you're nervous that your phone bill gonna get cut. Maybe you're nervous about something because that's why you're craving something crunchy to chew. Okay, people start smoking cigarettes and doing drugs like crack and cocaine, that's all sugar. So they may feel love deprived, or they may have love issues that stem from the time of your age, even if they're adults. And they may indulge in that emotion by consuming alcohol, eating high in sugar foods, smoking cigarettes, because cigarettes have plum juice and maple syrup in it. What makes cigarettes addictive is the sugar. It is not the nicotine. It's the sugar that's inside of the cigarettes that makes it addictive. You walking with me? So that's why when people are on these drugs, we wasn't designed to just get on drugs. Things go wrong. Someone offers it to us because they used it as a vice. We take it in and it's a quick fix. So the drugs will make you feel good temporarily. And now what's going to happen is you're going to constantly need to go get that drug to get rid of that emotion until you wind up being addicted, and now you're no longer in control. I got you.
Sorry.
Nah, it ain't a problem. We get out the sun.
Those I don't look at too much.
It's not a problem. We get out the sun. Let's go.
Holidays, birthdays, Italian, butter rum, bonds, and cocktails. Family business, they're Dolce Monaco. Guys, best cake in the world, guys. They're Italian, butter rum. Puts up $3,000 away. And then you can use it. Great.
Had to get these gluten-free joints, man. These things are off the chain. We're gonna get some mango juice. We're gonna discuss this once we get away from the Christmas fair people. Look at Santa over there. Pales can be. Get some sun, Santa. He hanging out in that cool.
He's silly.
How much more pale Santa want to get? He need to get some sun. Unbelievable. This ain't the North Pole. It's Beverly Hills. You're in the wrong place trying to hide from that sun. Santa gonna mess around, get skin cancer messing around with Beverly Hills. You better get back to that North Pole. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know what Santa think about. What you want? You want something? Mango? Yeah, so we're going to get this mango juice. This is good. Amongst many things, when our daughter first started eating, we would give her avocado in the morning because it's a great source of omega-3 and the essential fatty acids. And we give her mango in the nighttime for her emotions. So the avocado in the morning has the strongest impact on the brain, and mango in the night for her emotions. Especially in preparation for her womanhood, for when she gets on the cycle, because it has a good amount of manganese. Yes, sir. And I get mango juice.
Sorry, sir. I got the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, let me get a mango juice, a small one. And let me get a... You got watermelon by itself?
Right there, watermelon. Right there.
Yes, let me get the watermelon, and let me get the mango. So, of course, all of this is fresh. We made, blended, and everything. That's how we want it. Straight from the farm. We want that. So we're going to break it down. The reason why, now what you always want to do, when you start your day, it'd be great to start your day off with an apple or a pear or a watermelon. Why? Because it prepares the stomach with the HCl, the hydrochloric acid, for the day. So you can get ready to break things down. You know, you wouldn't just turn your computer off, you would shut down several other programs first before you turn your computer off. You would take the drive out before you just cut it off. You would close Final Cut Pro before you cut it off. Hold it. So what happens is, same thing with the body, turning it on. You don't want to just turn it on by eating something that's probably not that water soluble. You want to eat something that's definitely highly water soluble to start the day, to get the activity going in your stomach, to prepare it for the rest of the day for your consumption. Can you hold it real quick? I'm gonna get it together.
Anything else, you, sir?
Okay. Oh, that's good. I will hold
That's
this.
gonna be 5.
Hold it for me.
$9 right there.
All right, I got you. Yeah, so you always want to start your day off with apple, pear, or watermelon. Which I was talking to this good brother named Powerful, and he made a very strong point. This is a point I'm gonna share with y'all as well.
Thank you. Have a nice one, okay?
You're always under some kind of attack subconsciously. So watch this.
No, man.
What kind of attack are you under subconsciously? Well, let's do it like this. You don't want to eat watermelon because of its association to slavery. Okay, you don't want to eat the apple because that was the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. And you don't want to deal with pears because no woman want to be pear-shaped. She want to be shaped like the number 8. So look at the 3 fruits that'll save your life if you start the day off with them, an apple, a pear, and a watermelon. But instead, you don't want to deal with watermelon because of slavery. You don't want to deal with the apple because of the forbidden fruit. Because Eve ate of that apple, and now she was able to discern good from evil. And then the pear because of the shape. But I'm going to tell you this. A woman shaped like a pear ain't that bad. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to keep going. People trying to get these jewels. This ain't all for them. It's for us right now. We're going to keep going. They try to steal this information. Get Santa out that sun.
I also feel like
Look at that kale. Let's see what happens. Doing good. Just seeing what kind of ingredients is in here.
Right up here.
Spinach, cabbage. Okay, cool.
All right.
Easy enough. A little bit of cucumber and oh wait, no cucumber. Let's see, what else? We got a little bit of mustard green as well.
It's a young mustard green, so it's not too spicy.
All right.
That looks good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't want to get the cabbage. Otherwise, I would have went.
Right.
Some hummus?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, what we got to do now is look for these black mission figs. The reason why you want those black mission figs because they're high in essential minerals and it's also a good amount of magnesium and manganese. Now, manganese is a very interesting element because too much manganese throws your emotions off course. Too little manganese throws your emotions off course. Most of us don't have enough manganese in our diet anyway, but don't OD on it because, like I said, too little or too much throws you off course. But right now, many of you, particularly sisters, you need more manganese anyway because you're losing it every time you go on your cycle. So black mission figs are very important. Also, black mission figs will get rid of your fibroids, but you got to eat about, let's say, 5 to 7 of those a day, and stop taking in lactose at the same time. Don't eat nothing that has lactose in it. This is cheese. This is milk. Stay away from all that. If you're gonna have milk, make your own milk, and make your milk be walnut milk. So consume walnut milk or coconut milk, drink coconut water, and take 5 to 7 black mission figs. See, you ain't have to pay thousands of dollars for that. Your fibroids will shrink. Watch what I'm telling you. So we're gonna go get some black mission figs. Just dropping this knowledge. It's also going to help with your bone density as well. So now we know we need some mango juice, we need coconut water, we need walnut milk, we need walnuts in general, we need to drink coconut, and we need to eat the jelly from the coconut shell. What else have we discussed? We're doing good. We're doing our thing.
Watermelon.
Watermelon, definitely. And start your mornings off with watermelon, apple, or pear. So your hydrochloric acid in your stomach can be en route for the rest of the day. That's what it is. We don't play games. It's all up here. So I gotta teach my baby girl. So she's gonna study this video, and I'm gonna ask these things back in front of all of you, so you're gonna know she's doing the knowledge. So right now we need some black mission figs. Right? We gotta get some black mission figs. Oh, look at this. This is nice. Look at this fresh kale. I don't even want to eat it. It looks so beautiful. Remember we was growing kale in the back? You're gonna have to grow that kale again. Because one thing about kale, if it can survive in the winter, then that means it's good for you during winter. How about that? This is a plant that is durable as far as the seasons are concerned. So when you're talking about colds that's brought about, because you don't get a cold in the hot, you get a cold in the cold. So if you're talking about plants that can help you out during cold season, that's one of your best plants right there. Red kale. That kale is beautiful. And I remember I stopped eating it because we was growing it so much, it was turning into a tree in the back, right? A giant plant. It was turning into giant plants in the back, and then I started feeling the way, like, man, how can we eat this? We watched this thing grow. Couldn't even eat it. And I was off of kale for a little bit. I don't even think I want to grow it anymore now.
Very. Hi.
Got you. Doing good. Doing good. Let's see. Let's get
Hi, how are you doing today?
blackberries is what it is.
These are walnuts. The fresh walnuts.
The actual walnuts. This is what raw walnut is. I know y'all like doing things to convenience, right? Look at those walnuts. And the reason why you want the red kale, because it's high in iron fluorine. When you're talking about black people being iron deficient, they got you thinking about red meat. But not every protein is good for you either. Some protein eats away at your flesh, takes away from your bone density, takes away from your mass. They never tell you there's several types of protein you must consider which ones you need to consume. Same thing with fat. There's several fatty acids. That's why the avocado is so special. I call avocado technology because it's a great composite amongst fiber and the essential fatty acids that you need. The major fatty acids that you need, over 50 in number. But as far as iron is concerned, the iron that you want is in dark green leafy vegetables. That's the one we need, iron fluorine. You're going to find that in dark green leafy vegetables. Just because something is green doesn't necessarily mean it's that healthy for you either. Like some of you load up on spinach, but you don't realize spinach is actually high in starch. You don't want to have a high in starch diet, so lighten up on the spinach. If you do eat spinach, get a little baby spinach at the most. Go for baby spinach, the preference. Oh, I thought it was ringing. Now, we're looking for some black mission figs.
It's right there.
Boom. There we go. See that, baby? We got to get these right here. These black mission figs. This is good for you right there. For your womanhood, right? Got to get that. Yeah, I want you to pick them out. I'm going to hold you. Right? I want you to get back. I don't know if you can reach it. Let's see.
You got some toothpicks in there. So they wanted to sample that toothpicks in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you have something?
You got those stones in front of you?
Okay, go ahead.
Can you take those stones?
Not the toothpicks. Come on. You scared? You scared?
Really?
Oh, no, you're scared. Don't drop them.
You should probably take her
Put the
phone.
top over. Yeah. There you go. This is going to take a while. I'm probably going to interject at some point or the other.
That's good.
You should try those white ones. Real sweet.
Oh, that's so good.
Cherries, good too for teeth. Look at these.
And iron.
We're going to get these cherries. Extremely good for the teeth.
What's that thing, lady?
Extremely good. And those black mission figs are also good for the eyes. High in vitamin K. The black mission figs are actually better for the eyes than so-called carrots. Carrots are not even good for the eyes. That was a lie. Just like you don't see no damn bunny eating no carrots either. Laying no eggs. This is all foolishness. Foolish.
Is that enough?
No, we loading that up. Too much women in the house. We gotta load up. Baby girl gotta know she gotta eat these, right? I mean, that is one that had fibroids, right? Hold on. Let me. Yeah, come on, give me that. They need to know. You know you chilling. Come on, man. Everything ain't a photo shoot. You alright? Your hair's natural. What's all of that? Natural hair don't care stuff you be posting. You don't care. It's natural hair. Okay, give them that, and then I want you to do some cherries right over here. Okay? And why are you taking these black mission figs? It's because you're on your cycle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important for you as a young lady, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna get these for your teeth, amongst many other things. These are good for your teeth. It's cherries, okay? Go ahead. Your bloodstream, boom. It's gonna help with your osmoregulation, passing of nutrients by way of water, distribution in the body. Okay? Make sure you know why you taking it. This is your responsibility to take care of yourself as a young lady, all right? Otherwise, you be in that hospital listening to men tell you all sorts of weird and wacky stuff about your body that's not true. All right? Do your thing. We're going to go back to your mama. Sweet cherries, no sulfur, no sugar. You want some real cherries, not that weird stuff they put in the boxes. Take your time.
You got any chestnuts? We never have chestnuts.
Okay.
Sorry.
Take your time. Those walnuts, boom. Make milk from those walnuts. But yes, Aminette. So Aminette is one that had fibroids while she had Ma'at. And those fibroids, one was so big it was imposing on Ma'at's space, and they was telling her she was going to possibly have to get a C-section.
Yep.
And Ma'at was going to be born earlier than anticipated. Earlier than anticipated. Let me get you in the light. There we go. Earlier than anticipated because the fibroid was in a race for space for this little girl right here.
You need bags?
So what did you do to get rid of them?
About 8 fibroids. I mean, 8 black mission figs a day. Alkaline water, and I had green juice. I had kale apple ginger, and I did a lot of ginger shots as well.
That's also true.
Yeah.
And you got rid of the cheese.
Yeah, no dairy products. And I'm also lactose intolerant, so you know, dairy wasn't doing me no good anyway.
That never stopped us from having some cheese, though.
Right. Yeah, but when I was conceiving my egg, everything had to stop. It was either I have fibroids and have a miscarriage, or just have a healthy child, and I chose a child over that.
That's what's up. She came out lovely. Find out how much that is now.
Okay. Okay.
Where's it at? There she. Oh, okay. You got the wallet? Oh, I got it.
This one? Yeah.
Okay. Strong genetics. Well, we going in. I hope y'all enjoy the live stream. Wow, look at these. Dang, look at these joints. This is amazing. For real, these are amazing right here. I'd be like a nerd around fruit, yo. This is crazy. We gotta get like 2 of these. And what we do, put some pink salt and put some pink Himalayan salt on it, some red Hawaiian salt, a little activated charcoal, and put some cayenne pepper on top. And you killing them. We gotta get that. You bought it already? We need to get 2 of these grapefruit, yo. Alright, we come back because our hands getting loaded up. And the pomegranate, look at that. Fresh. Oh yeah, I mean that goes hard with those. This is definitely for the woman.
Salads, everything. Or just drink sugar.
Great for prostate and great for the womb.
Yes, correct.
I'm telling you, man, prostate cancer would be a thing of the past if you just took this in day to day. And the black mission figs. I'm loaded up. Baby girl, help mommy. Yeah. So we in the building, man. Y'all gotta deal with the real. Y'all gotta deal with the real. Word up. Gotta get this food straight from the farm, man. Can't play around. None of them second-rate foods, you feel me? Then of course you gotta fill up the crib with the plants, but my wife, she like to grow plants from the seed, man. She's too good for me to buy her plants now and flowers. She like it, but she'd be more happy if I gave her the seeds or a young plant to get started out with so she could nurture it and into growth. So, black salt or active charcoal. Sometimes sometimes volcanic. Most times volcanic. You put a little activated charcoal in the grapefruit, red Hawaiian salt, pink Himalayan, and throw some cayenne pepper right on the top. Cut that grapefruit in half or in quarters and eat it like that. The combination of that juice with them salts, that charcoal, and that cayenne pepper, woo! Because remember, one of the number one things to disease is too much mucus and bad circulation. You hold this, baby? Too much mucus and bad circulation. Too much mucus and bad circulation. That's what causes a lot of disease. That's breeding grounds for diseases. Yeah. Okay. Take a walk. You know, it's all about the aesthetics, so I want the flowers in the background. But yeah, breeding grounds for disease. Number one reason people are sick is either because of too much mucus. And I mean, if they get an x-ray to see what's wrong with them, you're not going to see the mucus because it's translucent. So that's why it kills us. We have to actually wait until the mucus creates problems that we can see before we realize it's the mucus. And by the time you go to the doctor, they're not going to be focused on the mucus. So a grapefruit with, I mean, just think about diabetics. It's because of poor circulation why they got to cut the feet off. You feel what I'm saying? So you get a grapefruit and you put that activated charcoal, the black salt on it with the red Hawaiian sea salt and the pink Himalayan sea salt and some cayenne pepper. That combination of that with the actual grapefruit creates a serum from the juice that's going to strictly enforce what we was talking about earlier as far as osmoregulation is concerned. It's going to strictly enforce the ability for water to be used in the transportation of nutrients throughout, or the transporting of nutrients throughout the body, pardon me. It's a great thing. This information is a great thing. The food is medicine. The food is the first line of defense. All right, but we gotta eat the food under pretense that we gotta give the body what it needs to sustain itself, or for whatever type of activity that we indulge in day to day. See, we gotta start having an appetite or a craving for sustenance, not a craving just based on satisfying our taste buds, because we know that's an illusion now. We know that we're really eating based on anxieties we're looking to suppress inadvertently through the vice of eating food based on an appetite. Right? So we got amazing watermelon, like this actual watermelon juice, real watermelon juice, black seeds. You're not gonna really find watermelons with black seeds no more. I went to Jamaica, that was one of the best experiences I had there, watermelon. And that's wild because people will say it's the beach, it was the women. I say it was the watermelon, because I'm out there for the healing modalities that these fruits and vegetables have to offer.
You guys remember me? I drove you to your radio interview.
Hey,
oh my
what's
God,
up?
wait.
Nah, it's no problem. What's up, man?
Good, I'm following you on Instagram too.
Thanks for following, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, you're the man.
Just doing the knowledge on the food, the health, the vegetables.
Oh, good. He's the man.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
great. I'm meeting my friend at 800 Degrees Pizza.
Oh, dope,
It's not
man.
as healthy.
It's better than the regular ones, I tell you that.
Yeah, I drove you like 3 months ago.
I remember.
Yeah, you were cool.
Yo, thank you so
and
much,
I picked you up
man.
right here in Westwood.
Man,
And I was telling my mom how successful you are and how I follow you on Instagram. I was just talking to my mom.
I appreciate that, man. The man tells his mother that, you know it's real.
All right, man.
All right,
I see ya.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate you.
Of course. Later.
Word.
Bye.
Shut up.
I'm done. Here,
Why you laughing at?
we're done.
Oh, I mean, what do people expect? This information is being used to heal everybody, and when I post it online, it's at everybody's discretion. Everyone can use their own discretion if they're going to decide if it suffices to follow through with anything that I'm saying or teaching. So if my people sleep on it, that's at their discretion. But you can't expect everyone to just say, well, black man's talking, I'm not going to listen. Because truth be told, a lot of people know to go into our community to get this knowledge. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When I say our community, I'm talking about the information community. I was going to say the conscious community, but sometimes that takes on a different connotation. So let me say the legitimized information community. The information that can be looked up is validated through proper resources and methodology. Okay? I thank y'all for listening. I just was feeling the people like, yo, what's going on here? But yo, I touch a lot of people's calls. You know, I'm reaching I gotta do that quick. I'm reaching a lot of people from different areas, different backgrounds. That's part of my success. You know, in a better world, you would appreciate not just our people having the health information, but all people, because the better our health, the better the decision making. No matter what race you are, we'll think a lot better and will be less violent and less negative if we took the necessary steps towards holistic health. It should be in our better interest to also make sure other races are taking the necessary steps towards healing as well, instead of destruction. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. But I thank y'all for listening. We're about to go and enjoy these fresh fruits. You know, this is gonna be the type of lunch and dinner we dealing with today. Off the chain, right?
Fist.
Off the chain. And then maybe we go to a different state today. Where you wanna go today? Say it again.
Vegas.
Look at this girl. She want to go to Vegas. My baby girl always gambling. I'm doing my best to stop her. Look at her. Look, she's embarrassed. Look at her. Always gambling, this girl. She want to go to Vegas. What little children do you know say, hey, you want to go out of state today, baby? Where you want to go? Vegas. 11 years old. She's super grown. Like I said, she started her cycle around 10 years old. Okay? And now she's talking about she want to go to Vegas on her free time. What the heck is she going to do in Vegas? I don't even gamble. Look at this girl.
Times Square.
Town Square?
Town Square.
She like going to Town Square. That's where the little homies hang out. There's a lot of grass over there and rides and then arcades. in the movie, and that juice we love.
Those fries.
The fries are amazing. Can't lie.
Best fries.
All right, we're going to Vegas, y'all.
Yeah.
We leaving for Vegas probably in a couple hours. Let's head out to Vegas. But there's a movie we gotta see. We gotta see Jumanji. You want to see Jumanji movie today?
Yeah.
So we might see that here today and then go to Vegas tomorrow. Or we might see it today and then go to Vegas, or we might go to Vegas and then see it out there. We gotta figure it out.
Maybe we should go to Vegas and see it. It
All right.
probably would be smart for the like distance of that.
Here we go. I'm gonna let my concierge.
Oh. I can't see the screen.
Yeah, it's still on. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna let my concierge right here decide how we're gonna make our travel arrangements today. Love you so much. Love you more. Come here. Alright,
I
so
can't see.
don't worry, it's there. Talk to you later. Say bye bye, baby.
Bye.
No, I said say bye bye, baby.
Bye bye, baby.
Well,
Don't
you so
listen to
big.
him. Don't listen to him. How you did that? You. Yeah.
Why you telling the people bye bye, baby?
I guess your phone is getting ready to die.